Oh, from dealing with the grief caused by the death of a loved one to conflicts between friends, it is Therapy Thursday. Dr. Brenda Lloyd-Jones from the University of Oklahoma is here to answer your questions. Brenda, great to see you. How are you? This is our last one.
Oh, I'm so sad about that.
We've been friends for a long time.
We
actually bonded and met over this topic. You were first when we introduced you to the 4 o'clock newscast. I was talking about bereavement and overcoming loss. So let's go ahead and jump into Vanessa's question here. Vanessa wrote in this week, and she said it has been 3 years since her parents died. She's been attending group counseling sessions and thought she was making progress, but just, can burst into tears. When a friend, recently lost her parents as well. When will she be able to move on from grief? I mean, it is like a chapter book, isn't it? And sometimes you just feel like you're going to the next chapter, and sometimes you feel like you're sliding all the way back to the beginning.
You're absolutely right. And as you mentioned, we have spoken about grief and bereavement on prior segments. And as we know, no one grieves alike. And consequently, we have current research that suggests that perhaps we should not aim to get over grief, but to advance with grief. Because when we have loved ones who have passed, we don't just leave them. They stay with us. And so as we better learn how to cope with the various ways our emotions show up, then we can again think about our loved ones, as well as ways of accepting and embracing feelings. And so for Vanessa, I would suggest that she acknowledge her feelings, talk with her friend, and let her know. When you brought that up, I just had feelings and thoughts about my own parents. They can bond over that. She can then move to certainly sharing her condolences. I have a wonderful book. It's new. It's just out this year, and it's called Grief is Love. Grief is Love, and it's by Marissa Renee Lee. Marissa Renee Lee. She just lost her mom and has talked about that process and has compiled it with research. So yes, we wish certainly our condolences to Vanessa's friend.
All right, Katrina writes in this week saying, one of my friends keeps following me around. She's followed me to church and started volunteering at the same nonprofit that I do. I would have invited her if I wanted her to join me. What should Katrina do? She's got a really close friend and she wants a little bit of space.
Yes, obviously Katrina's friend admires her so that she wants to be in her company uninvited. And I think that can be off-putting if you did not invite someone and then they show up in the places where you are. And so I have 2 specific suggestions for Katrina. Number 1, discontinue telling her friends what she plans to do and where she plans to go. And that will certainly diminish this kind of copycat behavior. She also wants to talk to her friend and tell her. If their friends tell her that the copycat behavior unnerves her and makes her uncomfortable, and even begin to talk about her interest in expanding her social network. Sometimes we want to have different friends and also engage in new interests, and it's okay to do that without current friends. The heart of the matter is that sometimes you cannot share everything that you are doing with people, and they need to ask permission before they engage and encroach upon her space.
All right, Brenda, always great to see you. I'm going to miss you seeing you each
likewise,
week.
Brian.
Thank you so much.
You're the best.
Thank you.
Much
You're the best.
Success.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And if you have a question that you'd like for us to consider for next week, you can send in your question email by therapythursday@griffin.news. We're back on the other side of this break.